Okay, good evening, everyone who made the effort to come despite the rain and the heavy traffic in Delhi. And welcome everyone online for this Medicine Buddha Puja. So as usual, we will start with a short placement meditation, a short calm abiding meditation, so that we arrive here and we concentrate, we focus, we turn inwards, and so that we are ready for this puja. So to start, we can take 3 deep breaths. Every time we inhale, we try to refresh our attention. Every time we exhale, we relax. Next, for the placement meditation, there are 4 instructions. I will quickly go through them as I think most of you are familiar with them. The first one is to look at our body posture. Ideally, we sit on the floor in the full lotus posture. That means with each foot on top of the opposite leg. That might be a little bit challenging, so make sure you're not forcing yourself, you're not pushing your body. You can simply sit cross-legged, or you can sit in half a lotus, or even Burmese style with one leg in front of the other. If you are sitting on a chair, it is perfectly fine. Just make sure you are not leaning against the support of the chair and not leaning forward either. Next is the hands. Traditionally, we place them in the concentration mudra. So you have your right hand on top of the left, the 2 thumbs are slightly touching, and this mudra rests on your lap. The most important is for the back to be straight, for your body to be upright. You can imagine that there is a string pulling from the crown of your head and keeping your body upright. But at the same time, don't be stiff. Make sure you are relaxed. The back is erect but relaxed. The shoulders are even and also relaxed. The neck is aligned in the continuation of the spine. You can very slightly tilt your head forward, not too much. You can place your tongue behind your upper teeth towards your upper palate. This helps to reduce the production of saliva while you meditate. And finally, for the posture, we don't meditate with the eyes completely closed. We leave them slightly opened so that some light can enter and keep us alert. We just rest our gaze 1 or 2 meters in the space in front of us, about 45 degrees cast down, and we don't actually pay attention to what our eyes are seeing. It is the mental consciousness that meditates. The second point for the placement meditation is our object of meditation. What are we actually meditating on? If you are familiar with this meditation, you can take the object you're the most familiar with, and if this meditation is new to you, what I would suggest is to use the breathing sensation at the entrance of the nostrils as an object of your meditation. Try to place all your attention there at the entrance of the nostrils, noticing as you breathe in, might be a little bit cooler, as you breathe out, might be a little bit warmer. The third instruction is that while we meditate, we tend to get distracted. And there are 2 main ways we tend to get distracted. The first one is called mental excitement. Basically, we are distracted with thoughts, mostly thinking about past, future, what am I going to have for dinner tonight, or thinking about a meeting that I had this afternoon, for example. So therefore, we lose our object of meditation. The second way we lose our object of meditation, the second way we get distracted, is with lethargy, so-called laxity or dullness. Basically, we don't put enough application in our concentration, and the mind starts to sink. We tend to fall asleep, and therefore we also lose our object of meditation. So So finally, the fourth and last instruction for the placement meditation is to make use of the two antidotes to counteract these two distractions. The first antidote is called introspection. Introspection is a small part of your mind in the background that is checking, what am I doing? Is my mind focused on my object of meditation, or is it distracted with thoughts, or did it fall into dullness? And the moment introspection notices that the mind has lost the object of meditation, we make use of the second antidote, which is called mindfulness. Mindfulness, we could also call it non-forgetfulness. Its role is to bring the mind back, wherever it is, distracted with thoughts or with lethargy, bring the mind back onto the object of meditation and making sure it remains there. So we'll do a short, maybe 5 minutes meditation, trying to remain focused, being aware of the two ways we get distracted, and making use of the two antidotes. gently come out of the meditation. Namaste Arunaji. Namaste Purvala. I see that I'm not the only one who was stuck in the traffic. Yeah. Okay, now that our minds are hopefully a bit more focused, we will establish a Mahayana motivation for this session, for this puja. Just trying to think that we are not doing this puja for ourselves alone, but for the benefit of all sentient beings. When we say all sentient beings, it actually includes ourselves. Unless we are already enlightened, we are part of the all sentient beings. So why do we want to benefit all sentient beings? It's because we recognize in which condition they are, due to the power of karma and afflictions, constantly taking rebirth again and again, since beginningless time, since time immemorial, without any control. Not only any control over the rebirths, but also whatever is experienced in each of these rebirths. Sometimes we have pleasant experiences. Sometimes we have unpleasant experiences, experiences of pain. We experience things we don't want to have, we don't want to experience, and we don't have any control. It is dictated by the karmas we have accumulated in the past. And these karmas we have accumulated because of our afflictions, such as anger, jealousy, pride, desire, and so on and so forth. And all of these afflictions are all rooted in the root of the afflictions that is called self-grasping ignorance. Self-grasping ignorance is this misapprehension that we have of reality. We apprehend ourselves and all phenomena that we experience. We apprehend them as existing inherently in and of themselves. We apprehend all phenomena as existing intrinsically, truly, independently from our mind. Until we get rid of this root affliction, until we get rid of the self-grasping ignorance, all sorts of mental afflictions will arise. We will engage in negative karmas because of them. And sooner or later we'll experience the results of these negative karmas. So to stop the misery of samsara, of cyclic existence, we need to apprehend reality as it actually is, the opposite of the self-grasping ignorance, which is the wisdom that realizes the emptiness of objective existence, of the self and all phenomena. The moment we realize this emptiness of objective existence of phenomena directly, we start to uproot the self-grasping ignorance and all the other afflictions. When we experience this wisdom of emptiness again and again and again directly, gradually all the afflictions are removed. And we achieve liberation from samsara, we achieve nirvana. Now if we contemplate, all other sentient beings are in the same boat, perturbed by the afflictions, accumulating negative karmas, and experiencing the results since beginningless time. So if we want to free them, we need to guide them, we need to show them the path, just like the Buddha did 2,600 years ago. So what the Buddha did is that he didn't limit himself to the achievement of nirvana, he went beyond that. He achieved the state of full awakening, the state of omniscience, that allows him to know perfectly how to guide sentient beings, knowing their past, their present, their future, their capacity to progress, their capacity to understand the nature of reality. So if we want to help others in the best way, recognizing the various suffering experiences they go through, we can think of people who are poor, the people who are sick, the people who are being abused. We can think of the animals living in the wilderness, the intense suffering that is there. Try to generate compassion for them, thinking may they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering, the causes being the afflictions and the karma. So in order to free them from suffering, I myself must achieve the state of a Buddha, the state of omniscience, in order to guide them unmistakably, just like the Buddha did 2,600 years ago. Try to give rise to this intention for this session by thinking, may I become a Buddha for the benefit of all sentient beings, without leaving even a small insect aside, including all sentient beings. So with this motivation in mind, we will engage in the Medicine Buddha practice, which we will also especially dedicate for the quick recovery of His Holiness the Dalai Lama, further to his knee surgery that he has done in New York. And now His Holiness is recovering in upstate New York. So we are hoping we have the karma, we have the fortune for His Holiness to come back to India, to Dharamshala, and continue to teach, continue to guide us. So it is not that His Holiness needs us, to recite these mantras, to practice medicine Buddha. It is for us, to purify whatever obstacles there might be to receive the teachings from His Holiness. And for us to create the causes for His Holiness to remain a long time with us and to expand the Dharma. So with this in mind, we can turn to the Medicine Buddha Sadhana. I think at Tushita you have it in front of you. they're on the tables. And online I will share my screen. So the Medicine Buddha practice is very powerful practice. Actually, it is known as Medicine Buddha is the most powerful deity in the sutric teachings. And actually there are 8 Medicine Buddhas who all made very strong prayers when they freshly generated bodhicitta, when they freshly became bodhisattvas. They made strong prayers of aspiration that they will benefit, whoever asks them for help in those degenerated times that we are going through now. So it is extremely powerful to practice Medicine Buddha in this day and age. So we can turn to the page 7 of the sadhana. And we start with visualizing. About 4 inches above the crown of my head is a lotus flower. In the center of the lotus, there is a white moon disk. And seated on the moon disk is my root guru, my main teacher, who is the Dharmakaya essence of all the Buddhas. And today he is taking the form of Medicine Buddha. He is blue in color, and his body radiates blue light. His right hand is in the mudra of granting sublime realizations, and it rests on his right knee and holds the stem of the arura plant between the thumb and first finger. His left hand is in the mudra of concentration and holds a lapis lazuli bowl filled with nectar, with medicine nectar. He is seated in the full Vajra position, and he is wearing the 3 red-colored robes of a monk. He has all the signs and qualities of a Buddha. So try as best as you can to, throughout the practice, to keep the visualization of Medicine Buddha above the crown of your head, about 6 inches tall. His body is made of light, so he is actually hollow and transparent, and it radiates blue light in all directions. And with this visualization in mind, we can recite together, taking refuge and generating bodhicitta. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By my practice of giving and other perfections, may I become a Buddha in order to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By my practice of giving and other perfections, may I become a Buddha in order to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By my practice of giving and other perfections, may I become a Buddha in order to benefit all sentient beings. And then to reinforce the bodhicitta that we generated at the beginning of the session, we'll also recite and meditate on the 4 immeasurable thoughts. We can recite together as well. May all sentient beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. May all sentient beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May all sentient beings never be separated from the happiness that is without suffering. May all sentient beings abide in equanimity, free from both attachment and hatred, holding some close and others distant. Especially for the benefit of all sentient beings, I will quickly, very quickly, attain the precious state of perfect and complete Buddhahood. For this reason, I will practice the yoga method of Guru Medicine Buddha. Next, we'll engage in the 7-limb practice. So, you can see it's a very short prayer that has 7 points. But even though it is short, these 7 small meditations, these 7 visualizations, they allow us to, in a very short time, to accumulate a lot of merit. That merit is the potential that we accumulate to transform our mind, as well as to purify our mind from negative karmas in just a few minutes by doing these visualizations and meditations. So much merit is accumulated, so much purification of negative karma is happening. So at the end of every sentence, we will stop for a moment and meditate, contemplate on the meaning of what we have just said. I prostrate to Guru Medicine Buddha. So you can visualize that you are prostrating to Medicine Buddha, not only with one body. You can visualize as vast as you can, prostrating with countless bodies. You can also imagine that all sentient beings are prostrating along with you. Prostration is a sign of respect, but also a sign of recognizing the qualities, of the Buddha, completely pure from the afflictions and having achieved all the perfections. So when we prostrate, what we are actually demonstrating is that we want to achieve the same result. We want to become a Buddha ourselves. And then the second limb, each and every offering, including those actually performed and those mentally transformed, I present to you. So you can visualize that all the offerings that are arranged here of lights, water bowls, incense, food, flowers, and so on and so forth, you can visualize that you transform them, you multiply them, you transform them into oceans of clouds of beautiful nectar that you offer to the countless Buddhas. Because there are countless Buddhas, your offerings also become numberless. You can also visualize all the offerings, that are arranged in all the monasteries, at all the stupas, and transform these into clouds of blissful nectar and offer to the countless Buddhas. Then the third limb, I confess all non-virtuous actions accumulated since beginningless time. So basically, with a sense of healthy regrets, you open your heart to the Buddhas, confessing all the negative actions I have engaged in the past, not with a sense of guilt, but with a healthy sense of regret, meaning I don't want to experience the results of the negative karmas I have accumulated. I don't want to suffer in the future. Therefore, I want to purify these negative karmas that I have accumulated, and I want to refrain from committing negative karmas again in the future. And then the next limb, I rejoice in the virtues of both ordinary and noble beings. Whenever we were doing any practice with Lama Zopa Rinpoche and the 7 limbs were there, Rinpoche would make us stop every single time for the limb of rejoicing. Because it is known as, rejoicing in the virtues of others. It is known as a very, very quick way. In just a few seconds, you can create so much positive potential for your mind to transform. So you can, for example, rejoice in all the deeds, of Buddha Shakyamuni. You can rejoice in all the holy activities of His Holiness the Dalai Lama, tirelessly, teaching, spreading the Dharma, so many projects around the world to benefit beings. You can rejoice in all the activities of your own teachers, your own gurus. You can rejoice in the activities of all the monastics. You can think of the thousands of monastics who are living in South India. For example, at Sera, Ganden, Drepung, and so on and so forth. Thousands of monastics who decided to dedicate their lives to the study and practice, engaging in about 20 years of intense studies, 6 days a week, from 3 or 4 a.m. in the morning until 11 p.m. at night. And then after that, engaging in meditation retreats for months and years and decades sometimes. So you can rejoice in that, thinking how incredible, how precious. You can also rejoice, in all the virtuous activities of people who offer service at Dharma centers. All the people who are also engaging in Dharma studies, engaging in retreats, meditations, and so forth. You can also rejoice in all the good actions of your friends and families, and as well as your own good actions. And then next we have the limb of requesting. As our guide, I request you, O Buddha, to please abide well and turn the wheel of Dharma until samsara ends. So Medicine Buddha is in essence your root guru, your teacher. For example, if His Holiness the Dalai Lama is your teacher, today is taking the aspect of Medicine Buddha for his practice, and basically we are requesting him to live long and to continue to teach the Dharma to benefit us. So for that you can visualize that you offer him beautiful thrones adorned with double vajras symbolizing immortality, as well as large Dharma wheels, Dharma chakras, symbolizing, requesting him to teach, to turn the wheel of Dharma. And finally, the limb of dedicating all virtues, both my own and those of others, I dedicate to the ripening of the 2 bodhicittas and the attainment of Buddhahood for the sake of all sentient beings. The 2 bodhicittas refer to the conventional and ultimate bodhicittas. Conventional is the mind, that we generated at the beginning, the wish to become a Buddha for the benefit of all sentient beings. And the ultimate bodhicitta is the wisdom realizing the emptiness of objective existence. So all the virtues we dedicate so that these 2 minds ripen, so that we may soon, very soon, achieve the state of full awakening, the state of Buddhahood for the benefit of all sentient beings. Now, why do we dedicate? Let's say we do these 6 limbs, which are very virtuous. We accumulate merit, we purify, and then let's say something happens and we get angry. It is said that just one moment of anger, can destroy eons of positive karmas, of virtues that we have accumulated. But when we dedicate, it is a little bit like, putting your notes into the bank, so that if you run into a robber, the robber of anger, he cannot take it away from you. So similarly, this is what we are doing with our merit and positive karma. Next, we can read on page 9 together. I beseech you, Bhagavan Medicine Guru, whose sky-colored holy body of lapis lazuli signifies omniscient wisdom and compassion as vast as limitless space, please grant me your blessings. I beseech you, compassionate Medicine Guru, who hold in your right hand the King of Medicines, symbolizing your vow to help all pitiful sentient beings plagued by the 424 diseases, please grant me your blessings. I beseech you, compassionate Medicine Guru, who hold in your left hand a bowl of nectar, symbolizing your vow to give the glorious undying nectar of the Dharma that eliminates the generations of sickness, old age, and death. Please grant me your blessings. Next, we will turn to the simplified visualization that is on page number 14. So usually we do the more extended, making requests individually to the 7 medicine Buddhas. Today we'll make requests to all of them together, and mainly to the main Guru Medicine Buddha, so that we have more time, to accumulate mantras, which is what was, requested by the Office of His Holiness the Dalai Lama, that we accumulate mantras, Medicine Buddha mantras. So we can read together 7 times on page 14, trying as best as you can to maintain the visualization of Medicine Buddha above the crown of your head. The fully realized destroyer of all defilements, fully completed Buddha, having fully realized the absolute truth of all phenomena, Guru Medicine Buddha, King of Lapis Light, to you I prostrate, go for refuge, and make offerings. May your vow to benefit all sentient beings now ripen for myself and others. The fully realized destroyer of all defilements, fully completed Buddha, having fully realized the absolute truth of all phenomena, Guru Medicine Buddha, King of Lapis Light, to you I prostrate, go for refuge, and make offerings. May your vow to benefit all sentient beings now ripen for myself and others. The fully realized destroyer of all defilements, fully completed Buddha, having fully realized the absolute truth of all phenomena, Guru Medicine Buddha, King of Lapis Light, to you I prostrate, go for refuge, and make offerings. May your vow to benefit all sentient beings now ripen for myself and others. The fully realized destroyer of all defilements, fully completed Buddha, having fully realized the absolute truth of all phenomena, Guru Medicine Buddha, King of Lapis Light, to you I prostrate, go for refuge, and make offerings. May your vow to benefit all sentient beings now ripen for myself and others. The fully realized destroyer of all defilements, fully completed Buddha, having fully realized the absolute truth of all phenomena, Guru Medicine Buddha, King of Lapis Light, to you I prostrate, go for refuge, and make offerings. May your vow to benefit all sentient beings now ripen for myself and others. The fully realized destroyer of all defilements, fully completed Buddha, having fully realized the absolute truth of all phenomena, Guru Medicine Buddha, King of Lapis Light, to you I prostrate, go for refuge, and make offerings. May your vow to benefit all sentient beings now ripen for myself and others. The fully realized destroyer of all defilements, fully completed Buddha, having fully realized the absolute truth of all phenomena, Guru Medicine Buddha, King of Lapis Light, to you I prostrate, go for refuge, and make offerings. May your vow to benefit all sentient beings now ripen for myself and others. So next we'll engage in the mantra recitation. And while we recite the mantra, try to visualize as best as you can Medicine Buddha above the crown of your head. And visualize that from his heart and holy body purifying rays of light are pouring down. And these rays of light eliminate your sicknesses and afflictions due to spirits, the causes of spirits. They eliminate all your negative karma and mental obscurations. And you can visualize that your body is being completely filled with light and becomes clean, clear, like crystal. Then the rays radiate out in all directions, purifying the sicknesses and afflictions of all mother sentient beings. So you can think of all sentient beings, especially those you have a karmic connection with, who are experiencing sickness, those who recently passed away, those who are experiencing obstacles, difficulties in their lives, sending, these rays of light to all of them. And the mantra is actually on page 13, the page just before. So we'll read one time the long mantra, and then 6 times together the short mantra, and then we'll recite at our own pace, maybe for about 15 minutes, the mantra. The short mantra, we'll keep reciting the short mantra for about 15 minutes. And in the past, you can see that the second Bekanse is in the brackets. In the past, I used to read it, but I recently heard that whenever His Holiness recites the mantra, he says Bekanse only once, so I'll try to follow that. Om Namo Bhagavate Bekanse Guru Bedurya Prabharajaya Tathagataya Arhate Samya Sambuddhaya Riyada Om Bekanse Bekanse Maha Bekanse Raja Samurgare Swaha Riyada Om Bekanse Bekanse Maha Bekanse Raja Samurgare Swaha Riyada Om Bekanse Bekanse Maha Bekanse Raja Samurgare Swaha Riyada Om Bekanse Bekanse Ma Bekanse Raja Samurgare Swaha Dhyata Omo Bekanse Bekanse Ma Bekanse Raja Samurgare Swaha Dhyata Omo Bekanse Bekanse Ma Bekanse Raja Samurgare Swaha Dhyata Omo Bekanse Bekanse Ma Bekanse Raja Samurgare Swaha. Tihata Om Bekanze Ma Bekanze Raja Samurgate Swaha. Now we can visualize that above the crown of our heads, Guru Medicine Buddha melts into light and absorbs into your heart. Your mind becomes completely one with the Dharmakaya, the essence of all the Buddhas. So you can visualize above the crown of your head that Medicine Buddha, from both from top and bottom is absorbing, dissolving into light, blue light, and this blue light enters through the crown of your head and descends, to your heart. Your mind becomes completely one with the essence of all the Buddhas, the Dharmakaya. You can meditate on the emptiness of objective existence, of your mind, of yourself, of all phenomena. And with this awareness of emptiness, that nothing exists, objectively nothing exists independently from the mind, we'll dedicate the merits that we have accumulated by reciting these mantras, by doing the 7 limbs, by trying to generate bodhicitta, by trying to place our mind, developing the mental factors of introspection and mindfulness. So we can read together at the bottom of page 14, the dedication verses. Due to these merits, may I complete the ocean-like actions of the Son or the victorious ones. May I become the Holy Savior, refuge and helper for sentient beings who have repeatedly been kind to me in past lives. May the virtues received from attempting this practice, may all living beings who see, hear, touch, or remember me, even those who merely say my name, in that very moment be released from their miseries and experience happiness forever. As all sentient beings, infinite as space, are encompassed by Guru Medicine Buddha's compassion, may I too become the guide for sentient beings existing throughout all 10 directions of the universe. Because of these virtues, may I quickly become Guru Medicine Buddha and lead each and every sentient being into his enlightened realm. Next we'll turn to the long life prayer for His Holiness the Dalai Lama. So again, you can visualize this time His Holiness the Dalai Lama is in his human form. You can visualize him in front of you and offering him beautiful thrones, endowed with the double Vajra symbolizing immortality, requesting him to stay many, many more years with us on this planet. To carry on with all his activities and projects, and to carry on helping us, guiding us, teaching us the holy Dharma of Buddha Shakyamuni. So we can recite together in English towards the bottom of the page. Incomparably kind and supreme Tenzin Gyatso, the wish-granting, wish-fulfilling jewel, source of every single benefit and happiness in this world, May you have a long life and all your holy wishes be spontaneously fulfilled. Then we'll also pray for the swift return of Lama Zopa Rinpoche. Rinpoche, who founded Tushita Center, as well as the about 130 centers, projects and services of the FPMT around the world. Tushita is one of them. So Lama Zopa Rinpoche last year in April took the aspect of passing away, and as you might know, in the Tibetan culture it is a tradition to look for the reincarnation, the unmistaken reincarnation of such enlightened masters, so that they can carry on helping us carry on with their activities. For example, His Holiness, the Dalai Lama, is known as the 14th Dalai Lama, the 14th reincarnation of the first Dalai Lama. So we'll read the first prayer that is actually composed by His Holiness the Dalai Lama for us to recite, to request Rinpoche to come back soon in a fresh body, in a young body full of energy to carry on with his activities. Peerless teacher and assembly of the children of the victorious ones, Shravakas and Pratyekya Buddhas, victorious law song, father and sons, along with the lineage masters, all the objects of refuge of infinite lands, please bestow the virtue and goodness of accomplishing this prayer here and now. Holding and spreading the Muni's precious and complete teachings, through explanation and practice, you wore the armor of patience that is never discouraged. Incomparable, venerable Guru, to you I make request. While striving single-pointedly for the sake of the victorious one's teachings, the sole gateway through which all benefit and happiness emerge, and for other living beings, you suddenly departed to peace. What a great loss! Nevertheless, through the undeceiving truth of the blessings of the ocean of the three jewels, and the great ways of bodhicitta of the children of the victorious ones, may the smile of a reincarnation swiftly beam in glory for fortunate disciples. So we'll also dedicate the merits that we have accumulated in this session, as well as all the merits the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas have accumulated in the 3 times, and the merits all sentient beings have accumulated in the 3 times, so that the wars that are happening around the world immediately come to an end. May there be no new war. May there be no famine. May there be no epidemic. May there be no financial crisis. May peace and happiness abide in everyone's hearts and lives. Thank you very much for joining us for this puja this evening. And we just reopened last Saturday with Venerable Geshe Damdul teaching on the 3 principal paths, and actually the recording, if you missed it, the recording will be available in a few days. We'll announce it on our WhatsApp group and upload it on our YouTube channel. And then in the coming days, we have different programs. Tomorrow we have the first of a series of 16 sessions that are actually, each session is about one particular quality that we try to develop that is part of what is called the 16 guidelines for a happy life. And tomorrow the topic we'll explore during a meditation is humility. And actually, so the 16 guidelines is non-religious, program. It's an approach that was actually, it was composed by one of the kings of Tibet, to pacify a bit his people who were very naughty and fighting at war and so forth. So it's just values, inner values that we try to develop to become, a better person, more ethical person. And so this is part of the foundation for the development of compassion and wisdom which is a non-religious, organization. So it is, what is the word for that? It is, there's a word for that. Anyway, secular, yeah, secular ethics, basically. So over the next 16 weeks, every week we will have one of these sessions, one of these meditations to explore one of the 16 guidelines. And tomorrow is humility. So this will be as well in person and online at 6:30 p.m. for about 1 hour, or maybe a little more or less. Let's see what happens. It's actually a pilot project of the Foundation for Development of Compassion and Wisdom. So it's the first time this is actually happening. They are testing this program over the next few months, and next year they will officially launch it according to the feedback, of the people who participated in the pilot. Then our next session after that will be on Saturday at 11:30 a.m. with Deepesh Thakar. You might know Deepesh Thakar. He was a volunteer at Tushita quite some years ago, and now is the chief program coordinator of Tibet House for all the Nalanda courses with Geshe Damdul. And so on Saturday at 11:30 a.m. he will talk about the 4 seals of the Buddha's teachings and how to, what is the title? How to find genuine happiness in difficult times. And then on Sunday we have Lokesh Jindal, who is also one of the students of Tibet House, who will engage in a discussion with him about the law of cause and effect. So that's promising to be very interesting, because it's one of those very hidden phenomena, that only the omniscient mind can fully understand. All the details about karma is very difficult to understand. So we'll explore that together with him. That's Sunday morning at 11 a.m. this time. Saturday 11:30, Sunday 11 a.m. And then as usual, every morning we have our daily meditation at 9 a.m. So Monday to Friday is always on Zoom. And now this week we're also introducing some sessions in person. That is Monday and Thursday. So this will be every Monday, every Thursday. You can also come here at 9 a.m. if you want to. Otherwise, it's always on Zoom, Monday to Friday. Thank you very much, and see you soon. Have a good night.